Welcome to the Besties in the Books podcast, guys. I'm Liz.
And I'm Ashley. And today we are going to be diving into the last book in the ACOTAR series, for now, I should say.
Yeah, for now.
Book 5. It is called, so beautifully, A Court of Silver Flames, or ACOSF, as some people say, by Miss Sarah J. Maas, Miss Mother Maas. And this is the book that Liz has written a sentence here that says, so eloquently shoved her into adult fairy smut violently. I love that. So it's shoved us all into violently. You said it better.
Well,
you say it better.
I feel like I had to put that in there because it was like, I feel like, books 1 through 4 are great. And there's definitely some romance and spice in there. But it's like, book 5's like, hey, this is going to take a very sharp turn into more of like an adult vibe, which I feel like you either love or hate, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But
like you went on some roller coasters at the amusement park that like tick, 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 tick send you up and you just like shoo. But the way Silver Flames just shot off like Incredicoaster, I didn't see that coming. There are so many innuendos in the last couple sentences I said.
It's like every time you say something like shut off, I just picture Cassian. And then you're like, what else did you say? I already forgot. I'm just picturing Cassian. It's like, grab the headboard. Okay, great.
Yeah. Just need people to know what they're signing up for. So
I mean, and that's why we love this book, because it's so deep.
You just get right on in there. Okay,
we're just gonna keep going. No, but seriously, it is though, and that's what's great about it. Is in my opinion, I mean, this book personally, A Court of Silver Flames, changed my life the first time I read it. I had to reread it because it had been so long since I read it for this episode, and that's what I love about this book. Is like the spice is spicing for sure as far as this series goes. Like, am I going to be like, ooh, this is so spicy compared to like other dark romance we read and whatever? No, but like for this series, for, romantasy, it definitely gets up there. But at the same time, the level of important themes in this book and like transformation and like how it affected me on like a deep level, not very many other books I would put in this same category. So in that way, I feel like it is very unique. So, today we're going to be doing, if you've seen any of our other or listened to any of our other deep dive episodes that are a little bit newer, we kind of do more of a reaction style. So we'll be talking about, our least favorite tropes, most favorite tropes, I think, characters we liked, characters we didn't like, etc. We're going to share some reviews. We're going to do our 5-sentence summary, which I haven't done in a while. I'm a little rusty.
5-sentence summary of this thick baby right here. This thick boy. This 1,000-page is very girthy. I'll give it that.
Say thick one more time and don't picture Cassian.
Oh, I thought it was 1,000 pages. Oh, it's not. It's all right. 750 or so. That's still, though, it's the biggest of the bunch.
The biggest of the bunch.
Yeah.
Again,
that's what they say about Cassian. So,
he's the biggest of the bunch.
She's going to try to cram all of this. And you got...
I can't. It's like everything.
Hey, if Nesta did it, you can too, okay? Like I was saying, Liz is going to try to cram all of this into 5 sentences. Definitely or not less. So, we're a very professional podcast. We're very serious. Okay.
We persevere.
So listen, I'm going to say really quickly. So she's going to try her best. All right. We are not the line by line annotators over here. We are trying to not take you guys too far away from the current books that you're reading. We are just doing, a quick little summary, obviously 5 sentences, and then like our thoughts and feelings and vibes and all of that. Favorites, least favorites. If you want to have a full refreshing, because there's so much in this book that we're only going to like touch the tip of the iceberg with. Now I'm going to do it on purpose, okay? It's just right there. It's so easy. So we're going to be tip of iceberg. I'm going to link some videos down below. I was telling Liz before we started this, because I need a refresher, because it's been over a year since I physically read it. And so I was listening to this girl's summary. She does a great summary of this book. But when I clicked on it, I'm like, dude, 4.5 hours. It's not really a summary. It's like plot by plot, you know. She doesn't go necessarily chapter by chapter, but she goes over everything. So if you're looking for that, we'll link them down below. Check it out. But, dude.
It's not us.
Not us. Just so you know.
That's not us.
I wish, but I also don't, because I like this.
I was going to say, I don't know that I wish that.
I don't think I have the brain capacity, and there's plenty of people that do. So there's people out there. So if you're here for vibes and gags and jokes, that's us. There you go. Yeah. So anyways, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just going to say, you know, that if, you know, you're not yet here on your ACOTAR journey, or, you know, if you haven't started yet and you're considering it, this, you know, first 15 minutes or so will be spoiler free. We'll be giving you our basic, like star rating, who we would suggest it to, spice rating before we even get into it. We'll give you a warning. So if you're considering it, or maybe, you know, I know a lot of people who, because this book is very polarizing. Mm-hmm. Especially when I was looking up reviews for it, it's like you love it or you hate it, most people. And so if you've read books 1 through 4 and you're kind of like on the fence if you want to read quote unquote Nesta's book, then maybe just stick around and listen to our little reviews, and then we'll get into the spoilers later, but we'll make sure to let you know that. But before we get into all that, we just want to say thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys so much for being here and taking time out of your day, and as I mentioned, your book, to come and take a little listen. I'm someone that, like, if I read books that I'm super into, I want to kind of like digest that with someone. So I hope that we could be a resource for you guys. Anytime you finish a book, you can look us up now. We're coming up on episode 50 soon. So you could check out and see if we've talked about a book that you love yet. And if not, feel free to send us a DM over on Instagram or TikTok at Besties in the Books Podcast of recommendations that you think that we should read and deep dive into. We got the 3rd, 4th wing coming out soon.
Oh, and I wanted to give a little shout out to Mindy. You know who you are. She sent us, you guys can send us an email too. That's another thing. She sent us an email last night suggesting a couple series that would be good for us to do mini-sodes on.
Nice, sweet.
It's so cool. We love your guys' suggestions. She gave us some really positive, amazing feedback. So thank you for listening, Mindy. We appreciated your email yesterday.
Yeah, thank you so much. And so with that said, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you like to list your favorite podcasts, including YouTube. We're over there. And if you feel like it, you know, leaving us a little star rating on your podcasting platforms you like to listen to us to. We read off reviews occasionally. So if you want to take time out of your day to leave us a little review, we'd love to read it off. We'd love to read it. Thank you guys.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
It's awesome.
Thank
you for being here.
Thank you.
So, okay, let's just kick Thank you. Let's just kick it off with fave and fail of the week.
Yes, let's do it.
Should we just do regular old
reggae
fave and fail?
Yeah, just a little reggae fest.
A fave and fail about reggae specifically. Yeah. Go.
All right. Well, this Bob guy. So is that his name? That's Bob Dylan. Bob.
No. He's not reggae.
Bob Marley?
Bob Marley.
Okay. Yeah. It sounded weird when it just said Bob. Okay. So, you know, I'm used to Marley, you know? Okay. Anyways, fave. So those who are still listening, this is our fave and fail segment that we just talk about life a little bit and, you know, break the ice as if we need to break it any further than we've already have. So my favorite, we're coming off New Year's week, which I spent in Big Bear with the fam, the full family. Mm-hmm. There we go. And one of my favorite things that we did is I brought my electric bikes because there's no snow. So we added something to do. Yeah. And my dad was really excited to try them out. So we tried them at his house. And then, you know, we were playing Yahtzee. And he's like, do you think we could take the bikes out? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So just me and him took the e-bikes out. We have 2. So we just kind of cruised around that neighborhood and like checked it out for like an hour. And it was just chill. I had City and Color playing on my music. And we're just chilling. Nice. And we're just looking at the architecture of the different houses and seeing where we would want to stay next time. It was just so relaxing. So that's probably my favorite of the week.
I love that.
That was great. It's great. I'm glad I did it. It was one of those things that like, I'm pretty tired. I kind of want to finish Yahtzee, but I also want to go on a bike ride. And so it's one of those like, you know, it's like going to the gym. Like sometimes you're kind of tired, but then you go and you're like, oh, that was great. So it's one of those like, so highlight of the week. So there you go. And my fail, I'm going to bring us back a couple weeks here. Okay.
Okay. All right.
In case you didn't know, we recently did an author interview with the lovely Ember Nicole, who is the author of the Broken Bounty series with her recent release, Live For Me. We interviewed her. That was all great. That's not my fail. That's my fave. Okay. And then computer issues ensued dramatically.
Oh.
I can't even get too far into it because I might lose my mind. I'm suppressing those memories. So I'll give you the gist is that technology is the wizard.
An
in
illusion.
The Wizard of Oz. Technology is an illusion. You pull back the curtain. It's just, that's me and Liz's joke. It's just like a monkey duct taping stuff. Like that's what's behind technology. So Apple, every company is the worst, but specifically Apple. I have a MacBook. Okay, I calculated it's 8 years old. Sure, whatever. But it functions perfectly. It's beautiful. Technology hasn't changed that much, guys. Like, come on. You know, we're in 4K. It works on 4K. It's not that different. So I go, in order to do author interview editing, I have to use Final Cut Pro software, which is more sophisticated. I can run it on a separate hard drive for anybody. This sounds like another language to Liz, I realize that, but some of you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. I'm talking like a robot. So I use it on a separate hard drive. Everything's fine and dandy. It was time for us to like purchase the program because I just did a trial for 90 days. Great, no problem. We're ready to purchase it. I go to purchase it. Oh, you don't have the newest software needed to do this. I go and I check my latest software update. I do the update. Oh, it's still not updated enough because now Apple has made that laptop obsolete for any future updates. Cool. So I have $1,000 paperweight. Awesome. So no, I'm very stubborn when it comes to this stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to find a way. Life finds a way. Jurassic Park. So Michael Keaton or Cretan, that's a different guy. Anyways. So
Jeff Goldblum.
Also, yes. So Wizard of Oz. 5 Degrees of Separation. Footloose. Okay. So I YouTube it, you know, I Google it or whatever. And I say, hey, Google, is there any way to hack this? Because this is BS. Of a it's like, it works well. Like even the battery isn't as bad as it could be. Like everything's fine with it. And yeah, so there's this guy on YouTube that teaches you how to use this program to force an update. So I do that. It takes all weekend. 3 days weekend before Christmas of my life. And my husband is like, bless him, go buy another computer. Stop it. I'm like, I gotta do it now that I know it's possible. I have to try to do it. So I do, and it's the principle. Sure,
it is.
I can go buy another MacBook. Do I want to spend that money on that? No, I do not, especially when I have a perfectly working computer right here.
That's what's annoying.
That's what's annoying. It's like, if it was just dead, okay. Like, what am I going to do? But considering everything it works, it's like, come on. So I do it, and I'm like on a time crunch because I got to get this episode edited and sent to Ember Nicole so she can make sure she listens to it. Liz listens to it. Like, everybody's good. So I'm burning the midnight oil to get it done. I finally forces it through, and then I am able to get Final Cut Pro working. I didn't need to buy it, so that was like a woo-woo because it recognized it as a new computer. So I got another 90-day free trial. Well, continue issues. It had an issue after issue, and I had to edit that video 3 times. So please turn my fail into a fave. Go listen to that episode. It's spoiler free. I worked really hard on it. If you can watch the YouTube video, that would be even better because it's super cool. She's wearing a mask because she likes to keep her identity hidden. And it's such a cool video that I'm like, I have to get it done. I have to finish the story. So I always like to put a good spin on it. I learned what to do in these situations, other than taking the computer out back and smashing it. So
out back, it's like Old Yeller. Taking it out back.
Taking it out back, yeah, with the rabies. Old Yeller. That's great. I was thinking more Office Space, but sure. Yeah. Either one will do, either solution. That's what I've learned. No, I came up with a lot of issues that I'll know in the future if they ever come up again how to solve them. So I'm going to wipe my computer again and hope for the best next time. But I'll probably be buying a new computer soon because I think it's a Band-Aid. That's what, I figured out with this software. I don't think it wants to work. That's the problem. So I think it's, it is what it is. But that's a major fail. But it wasn't. Really, it worked out. It wasn't
because you're amazing and got
thanks.
it done.
I know. No, it's a fail on Apple's part. It's a fail because I have no other way but to be a consumer in this situation and be forced
so annoying.
To do it. So it is what it is, We
all, it's like we all can relate because of phones.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's the same thing with phones. I have an iPad that literally is obsolete.
Yeah.
What do I do with it? I can't do anything on it unless there's an app that's on it that they don't use, like the provider doesn't do it anymore. Like, it's so weird. I can't even use Safari on my iPad. What do I do with it?
That was like one of the reasons why I got a new phone. I almost had to get one before because I delete apps I don't use very often. Like I kind of try to go through and clean my phone out. And when we were getting ready to go on our cruise last August, I went to re-download the Royal Caribbean app because you can't take a cruise without having the app because you need it for everything. And it was like, basically it wouldn't re-download the app because my phone was too old. And I'm like, that's crazy because it wasn't even that old. It was like 3 years old or something like that. I'm like, this is crazy. But then for some reason, it ended up working. I don't know why. And so I put it off for like a few more months. But anyways, we all know how it goes. It's like, I have this perfectly good phone that works great and I have no issues. And then they're just going to make it obsolete. So I have to get another new phone.
Yeah.
And it's so annoying.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you for the hard work you do. Thank you for going
it's always
temporarily
worth it.
insane.
Please check out the video if you haven't yet so I don't cry myself asleep at night. Thank you very much. No, it's good. It's all good. It's all good.
So, okay. So my fave of the week is that my dad is visiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was going to come up like closer to Christmas, New Year's time, but he kind of had some stuff happen and needed to reschedule. So he just got into town the day before yesterday. So
nice.
We have like a week or so. And then I think he might actually end up staying longer because fishing's supposed to be good. So I think he and my husband might go fishing. But yeah, so we went and we took him out last night for a nice retirement dinner and got to spend some time. And that was fun. So nice. That's my fave of the week. Aww. And then I like how we both had dad faves of the week.
Shout out to the dad.
Cute. Yeah. And then, oh my God, guys, my fail. I was telling Ashley about this because I was literally on death's door. Not really. Don't worry about me. I'm just dramatic, as my husband would say.
Yeah. I'm not. But my computer's like rant. Yeah.
But seriously, if you've been following me and my journey with Whole30 on social media, So, I'm like, what even day is this? We're on the 6th. So I'm technically only on day 5 right now because I started on the 2nd of January. And I normally eat really healthy, but Whole30 came out with like a plant-based option. Racinda has done Whole30 a bunch. She swears by it. She thinks it's like, she really thinks it helps her to figure out the things, obviously, that like trigger her allergies or like make her not feel well, whatever. I think I have a pretty firm grasp on that, but I was like, I want to try it out. It's a month. Like I could do anything for a month. No biggie. Well, even the plant-based version, like you can't really eat any, like no rice, no noodles, no bread, like the carb situation is like basically all fruits and veg, which is fine. But I eat so many carbs a day normally, like as a vegan, like a high carb, low fat vegan, that like I didn't realize it. But when I started doing this, I immediately got a migraine. Oof. And it lasted literally 4 days. Like it was horrible. I was taking Excedrin just to like make it through my work day. Like it was not good. And I'm like, SOS, help. Like, I'm posting on, like, my stories or whatever. Like, is this normal? Like, I know people get, like, detox headaches and stuff. But I'm like, this didn't even happen to me when I, like, ate only raw food for, like, 10 days. Or, like, you know what I mean? When I quit eating sugar for 3 years. Like, this did not happen.
Yeah.
And you know, our friend Tara, she's a nurse. She's like, girl, take electrolytes. Your electrolytes are all messed up. And I'm like, how did I not think of this? And so literally I drank 2 packs of electrolytes yesterday and I'm normal.
It's crazy, man.
It's crazy. So that is my PSA. It was my fail of the week because I didn't have to go through that.
Yeah.
But I did. But I did so that you guys don't have to. So if you're considering doing Whole30 and you get a really bad migraine and you're like, it's not going away, I don't know what's going on, maybe just try drinking electrolytes and see if that helps.
Isn't that like a thing in America, is like we in general as a population lack electrolytes most of the time?
I don't know. I know, like, for me specifically, like, if you eat high carb, it's usually not an issue. Like, I've never supplemented electrolytes. Ever. In my whole entire life. Like, except for one time. Actually, now I'm remembering. One time when me and my sister went down to visit my dad because it was so dry and hot, we were like, we're just going to perish if we don't. And so I took a couple, but I felt okay. I just felt really like hot, you know? It was just really hot and dry. But I've never like taken them before as like a dietary supplement to like help me basically like not feel like complete trash before. So, yeah, I've never heard that before. I've never needed to do it, but this pro tip, if that happens to you, maybe
I do them
that.
after working out, and I feel like it helps. Yeah. So.
Like with energy or like what?
Yeah, all of it. All of it.
Yeah.
I don't feel groggy. Like, 'cause, you know, you get the high after the gym, but then you get the crash. I feel like it helps stabilize me throughout the day. Could be a placebo, but, you know, I don't know. I just do it now.
I think I have a weird, I've talked to my husband about this before. I do not get a high after working out, and therefore I also do not get a crash. Yeah. So I just get a nothing.
Nice. Yeah.
I guess, but it's not motivating. He's like, you don't get like runner's high? I'm like, literally no.
Like, I just feel like, good. I don't know if it's, I'm not like, dancing to flowers, but I just feel really good.
Yeah. I just kind of feel like,
Oh, okay.
Like whatever. It's hard to motivate myself to work out for that reason. But, you know, I do it anyways. But yeah, so that's my fail of the week. We're feeling better. Otherwise, I don't even know if I'd be able to be filming right now because it's so bad.
Yeah.
But here we are. We're doing good.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right.
So let's get into our spoiler-free star review of A Court of Silver Flames. Go.
5 stars. Great. Good. We love it. So awesome. Okay, so book 5, while it wasn't my favorite of the series, I believe that was Wings and Ruin, if I remember correctly, or Court of Mist and Fury. Both of them I love. I still loved it. Still 5 stars. It's getting a different perspective. This is from Nesta's perspective. And, you know, again, some people love that. Some people hate it. I think it's very important. And there's so much in this book. And I just loved every bit. Nom, 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 nom. I ate it up.
Yeah.
What about you?
5 stars. For sure. Easily. No questions.
I mean, you said it changed your life, so.
Yeah. Literally. I mean, it's kind of like that's the standard for a 5-star for me, you know, is that it will stick with you forever. And it certainly did. So, yeah, 5 stars for me. I feel like the character arc for Nesta as a redemption arc specifically was very interesting, and as far as love stories goes, it had one of my favorites, if not my favorite, from the whole series. So
yeah,
therefore it is 5 stars. The spice is, I'd say, because although it's fairly frequent for this type of book, it's still fairly tame. So I would give it a 3. I would give it a 3 spice still.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's anything in here that would be triggering in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like as far as the spice goes. And I would recommend it for anyone who is into romance, fantasy, romance in general.
Yeah.
You know, if you've heard, because again, this book is very polarizing. If you're considering not reading book 5, I would say to you, just do it. And if you end up not liking it, oh well. However, I feel like there's so many things in here that are really important moving forward.
Yeah.
That it would be a disservice to you to not, and in the Massiverse in general, it would be a disservice to you to not read it.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone should read it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Everybody
if you like
read it.
romance,
Just
if you
do
like
it.
fantasy, if you're into Sarah J. Maas, yeah, read it.
We're just going to run into everybody's rooms and throw Silver Flames book at people's faces. Boom. Read
Yep.
it. All right. So, cling, clang, cling, clang, cling, clang, cling, clang, cling, clang. Those are swords.
What are you doing?
Swords
they're
knocking
swords.
together. They're spoiler zone coming up.
Like in Nesta's dreams.
Yeah, exactly. So, spoilers coming up, guys. Get out of here.
Okay.
Go on, get if you don't want anything spoiled, because we're going to spoil it all for you. Save it to
Taking
your
you out
playlist.
back.
Come back later. We're taking you out back like Old Yeller. Great.
Okay, we are getting into the plot in 5 sentences or less. Obviously, I utilized all 5 sentences for this, and we'll miss a million things because, guys, this book is crazy. So
It's a thick boy, like we talked about.
we can only do so much.
Yep.
That's what she said. Okay,
That's what she-
buckle up for this. Don't be mad at me because I will miss everything. Okay.
Wait, for
Court of
those who
Silver
have
Flames.
missed having a musical instrument involved, you're welcome.
been a
We have the
while.
gong back for an appearance. Usually it debuts on our mini series. I got to pick a new instrument for the next one for Hunger Games.
Ooh,
So make sure to come back for that. I got to think about that.
interesting.
Maybe I could get that thing.
It's just Ashley whistling. I mean, hey.
It works. I
It
got to get a
works.
special whistle. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Do your best,
So,
Liz.
Yep.
Let's go.
A Court of Silver Flames in 5 sentences or less. Nesta is still insufferable, drinking and effing her life away while using Reese and Farah's money to support her habits, while Cassian watches her longingly and frustratingly from afar.
That was so weak. Hang on. There we go.
There we go. There we go.
Good job.
The Inner Circle stages an intervention, which forces Nesta to live at the House of Wind, be sober, train with Cassian, work in the library with the priestesses with truly horrifying pasts, and because of her magic, help locate the Dread Trove items to ensure no one who wants to start a war can get to them, except for the crown, which Brie Allen already has.
2. That was great.
After hitting rock bottom, Nesta finally starts to train with Cass, and do him, and eventually invites her new Illyrian friend Emery and her new priestess friend Gwen to train with her. Because of Gwen's research, they decide to invite more women to start building a new Valkyrie rank.
3.
Nesta accidentally forges Ataraxia and 2 other blades, imbued with so much magic that they consider them to be a second Dread Trove, and realizes that she can control the harp, the mask, and the crown. So basically, she has an insane amount of power.
4.
Gwyn, Emery, and Nesta are kidnapped and thrown into the Blood Rite, where they ultimately win, gaining the title of Carinthian. I don't know how to say that. But Nesta has to fight Brialyn, who orchestrated them being there, her henchmen, and Cassian, who she brainwashes into almost killing himself and Nesta. But they kill her instead, the crown dissolves, and then use the harp to save Farah, so Nyx can be born, they can officially become mates, and everyone can live happily ever after.
Wow, you did it! You did
I did it. I will
Dude,
say...
I forgot about that whole ending. Other
It was
than
crazy.
Nyx being born. That's crazy. I forgot about that.
I was confused, though, because, okay, I love how this is the second time I read it, and I'm still confused. And I looked it up online, and I'm still confused. Okay, so when they killed Brialyn, the crown dissolves with her, but then Nesta ends up with the crown, right? Because she ends up with all of the Dread Trove and then hides it, I thought.
Yeah, I don't remember about the crown. It's been too long for me. Sorry.
Yeah, so someone comment and tell us, please, because I know someone's yelling at me that I got something in there wrong, which is completely fine. But it's like, that was confusing to me, like the way that it was written. And I tried to research it to verify what happened to the crown specifically. Like, we obviously know that Nesta can wield it and whatnot, but it's like, where did it go?
Did it dissolve into her stash of Trope goodies?
Does she have it? Because obviously then she uses the harp to turn back time to save Farah
Yeah.
and Nyx, but
Turn back time. Just took me a second to realize how you did that.
but where did the crown go?
Yeah.
You know, where's the crown?
Yeah.
So tell it. I don't know. How did I miss that? Anyways, 5 sentences or less. We did
You
it. Though.
did it,
Obviously,
dude. Yeah.
So much happened, but like,
That's a brief.
I couldn't do. I couldn't.
That
do
was
that.
brief. Summary.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Perfect. It was perfect. Because you know what? It refreshed my memory.
Good. See.
Yeah.
Yeah,
about you
that's all
guys?
you need to know.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
The mediocre summary.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we talk about the top 3 tropes that we each loved from this book?
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Okay, so for me, my favorites were redemption, enemies to lovers, as usual. Someone make me hate that trope. Just kidding. I could never hate it. And chosen one.
Yes.
So those are my 3 favorite tropes from this book, hands down. I am a Nesta. I'm obsessed with Nesta. She's one of my favorite FMCs of all time. I will die on that hill. The end. What about you?
For me, like trauma healing, you know?
Yeah.
I guess it could be more so redemption, but, you know, both. And coming into her own, I don't know what that would be technically classified as. Stepping into your own power.
Journey.
And the
heroine's journey. The heroine's journey. We've been talking about this a lot. Yeah.
Heroine's journey. Love that. The third one, scavenger hunt. Loved it.
Scavenger hunt.
I love a good scavenger hunt.
Finding the dread trope.
Yeah, here's a list of things. Go find it in the scary fae world. Like, do it.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah.
All those parts
Go
are
into
so
the
fun
bog.
for me. Also,
into the bog.
it's so like, whoa. One of my favorite parts, which I'm going to mention this because it's not my favorite part, but one of my favorite parts of the scavenger hunt is when Nesta has to retrieve, is it Atraxia? And the harp underground, it's like under the library or something. And then that one dude's there. That was crazy. And that was like a test to her power too. So much happens in that scene that is just like, listen, it means so many things.
It means
conspiracy
so many
theories aplenty. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, without giving any other things away, she sensed a 4th item in the dread trove.
Yeah.
What item could that be? We'll just leave that pause there for you guys to think that over.
Yeah.
I love that too. That was a really good part. I agree.
That was all so crazy. I forget that guy's name, but he was like he was in the prison, right? And she accidentally let him out a little bit.
I can't remember his name either because I'm really bad
that
with
was
names.
crazy.
It was
There's
crazy.
so much symbolism going on, and then there's the old carvings, and like, what does all this mean? I want to know more. So I'm gonna be rereading at least that part before the next one.
So good.
For sure.
So good.
Yep.
So what was one trope that you disliked in the book?
Keeping life-threatening secrets from someone. That would be one. Whatever that classifies as. Withholding information.
Withholding information.
Is that a trope?
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
I didn't like that. I did not like that one bit. Rescind. Nope. So that was rescind not telling Feyre that her life is in danger.
Yeah, like literally, that was really bad. I mean, Reese has never been my favorite MMC, but so many people love him, and that was definitely a low point for him, I think.
Yeah, low point.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. I think it's like, something that kicks in, but no. Especially everything that Feyre's been through. Like, no excuses. No.
You can't make her your equal. Like, you can't make her like lady like of the Night Court and then be like,
remove her autonomy from her and her life decisions.
Yeah.
I get like he's trying to figure out a solution before he freaks her out, but he just never tells her.
Yeah.
Until she's like gonna die.
Yeah.
So what about you?
I agree. No, so my one trope I didn't like, death fake out. I just Miss Sarah J. Maas. Listen. We get it. You're not gonna, like, okay, she has definitely killed some of our favorite characters. I'm not going to say that she hasn't. However, we get it. Like, your MO is the death fake out, and sometimes it gets a little bit old. It's like the whole, like, is Cassian dead at the end? And, like, I'm gonna turn the blade on myself, and then he's fine. I'm like, okay, we get it. It's too much. Like, just don't do that. It can still be as crazy without that, like, 1 second little, I don't know, like, derailing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't do it again. We're warning you.
Don't do it again. Yeah. So that was my least favorite, like, little trope or whatever. What about one smaller, maybe like Microtrope that stood out to you, good or bad? Like just something that's maybe a little bit less
Microtropes are
common.
hard for something that I read 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
So tell me if this counts. Death Pact being annoying? You know,
what do you mean? Elaborate.
Feyre and Rhysand have that stupid death pact. So obviously, if Feyre dies in childbirth, he's going to die too. So everybody has to stress unnecessarily over this. Like they did that. That annoyed us in that book, and it's still having repercussions today.
Yeah, today, to this day,
to this day. So you know, whatever that stupid pacts.
Yeah.
That's a microtrope, I think.
I agree that annoyed me. Yeah. I don't know exactly what you call that, but yeah, that's valid for sure. I put, this isn't necessarily microtrope, but I felt like for this book it kind of was because it wasn't really part of the main story in my opinion. The pregnancy trope. Yeah. Like, but it didn't bother me.
But it's not really a microtrope. Pregnancy trope?
No,
that's a normal
I feel like
trope.
normally it wouldn't be, but like I said, I feel like because in this book,
it was micro.
It was like technically a side character. You know what I mean? Because it's like this book wasn't about. Like I feel like if Nesta would have gotten pregnant, it would have been different. You know what I mean? So that's why I included it in here, but it didn't bother me, which I feel like normally it would have. So
yeah, you know, okay. So I just thought of a microtrope that should be said. Because I think it was the birth of many memes and mentions. Okay. But you already quoted it today in this episode, and that's hands on the headboard. That would be a microtrope, right? Say like those little isms. So that stood out to I think a lot of us. You know?
To everyone under the sun.
Climbing the stairs. My stairs of doom is a microtrope.
Stairs of doom is a good microtrope. Yeah. I mean, that was one of the ones we talked about early on. Would you climb the 10,000 steps up to the House of Wind if Rhysand was up there waiting to marry you? No. I'd perish.
I had a reel go viral on that, and people are still fighting to this day about it. And I'm just like, guys.
I love it.
She's Faye. It's different. Oh, they're going downhill. It's different. I'm like, everybody, none of you can do it. I'm telling you. It's fine.
And literally, who cares enough to fight over it?
It's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah. I love it. So
that's so silly.
There you go.
So, obviously, these books are extraordinarily popular.
Yeah.
Do you understand why... Let's just say, like, because this is book 5, like, we're wrapping up the series. Let's just say, do you understand, like, why the series is popular as a whole? Do you understand why A Court of Silver Flames is popular? Like, do you have any 2 cents to put in on that?
Yeah, as a whole, for sure. For sure. I mean, I'm sitting here to this day because of these books. I think I've said that in every ACOTAR episode ever. But we'll talk about, you know, this book is probably the most polarizing of the 5. Yeah, you either love Nesta or you hate her, and you can't look past anything. So how do you feel about that, Liz?
I mean, I feel like I've seen a lot of memes that say, like, if you hate this book, it's because you've had to deal with a person in your life who is like Nesta. If you love this book, it's because you are the Nesta. And I feel like that probably has a degree of truth to it, because, like, I definitely have been the Nesta in a lot of ways, and I can relate to her a lot. And so for that reason, I feel like, you know, a lot of the reviews that I was reading that were rating this book very low were talking about how the mental health representation was done very poorly. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. Have whatever opinion you want about that. I feel like for me personally and my experiences and the journey that I was on, in particular, the first time I read this, I felt like it was an extremely accurate representation of how I was feeling mental health wise. Yeah. I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for other people. But for me, I feel like I've never been more seen, I think, by a character or by, like, someone so specifically, like the inner monologue that Nesta would have. It's like when we get into the favorite quotes section, it's like, I don't know how many of those things. It's like if you've ever been in a position of such, like, a dark place, such deep self-loathing that, like, you have that inner monologue. the way that it is described and the way that she talks to herself in much of the book, I feel like is wildly accurate. But like I said, I can only speak for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you feel about that?
So that's interesting. I feel like, while I haven't necessarily been a Nesta to my knowledge, and I've seen
everyone's going around like, no, I'm just kidding.
No. But like, but I've witnessed people going through similar things, obviously not, but getting turned into fave. We're talking like on an emotional level, I feel like it was such a typical like reaction of what how the family and friends would react, and how support systems can be trying their best, but things getting misconstrued by the receiver, and all of those dynamics being at play. I think people forget with this book that you're not supposed to like her necessarily yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're not going to have like the perfect FMCL all the time. People would be so bored if we got another Feyre. We already read her story, and she already was the perfect lady. She already has the perfect character. We need, as readers, to read a diverse pool of characters, because that's real life too. Like you said, we say all the time, is like, we gain so much empathy through reading more in fictional characters sometimes than these nonfiction, self-healing books, because we can see different dynamics. Somebody reading this might say, well, it's crazy. Like, I could never forgive somebody for that. It's like, well, you might not have gone through it yet or experienced it. This stuff that really happens, again, it's in a fantastical way that makes it easier to digest in a way, but there's some really heavy themes in there. And seeing the dynamics involved, it felt very real to me. So I think that if you don't go into it thinking that the author's trying to force, I never felt like I was, because I didn't like Nesta either. I was very like, dude, Feyre, the youngest child, is carrying all this weight. The spoiled brat Nesta is mooching off everybody. But you can see, there's no perfect timeline for people to heal and grow and come into their own. And we got to read these stories of people that are struggling differently than we would. To see what their plights are like. So give it another chance. Read it through the lens of hearing about somebody's journey, even if they're not your perfect person. Because again, I don't think they're meant to be. She's meant to be a flawed character. And I think people oftentimes forget that. So that's my 2 cents on
and I think, just talking about like her journey, like, obviously none of us are struggling with being thrown into the cauldron and turned fae against our will. However, a lot of us have struggled with losing a loved one in a dramatic or traumatizing way. Or, I think that
and she's lost multiple people. Like, none of us really know, unless we've gone through it, and had our own reactions. If you haven't been in these situations, even on a surface level, non-fantastical, losing people, do you know how you will react in that situation? Sometimes people surprise themselves, They turn to different outsources, alcohol, drugs, whatever it may be, to try to bandage that, and that's what we saw with Nesta.
Well, and I think that the part that I could really relate to a lot from that perspective was, it's not even necessarily like how you deal with like the initial trauma, I think, that creates a lot of the self-loathing. It's that when people try to help you, it's like the second part of it. It's like when your family and friends try to help you and you lash out, shut down. So I think the second part of that, is that when then someone tries to help you, you have so much like self-loathing from how you've rejected them and been rude to them or crazy to them or shut them out or responded with anger, that you no longer feel worthy of their love or help. And so you push them away even more and hate yourself even more. It's a cycle, and that just continues on. And I feel like that to me was extremely realistic. Because it's like I just can relate to it on like a really, really deep level. So I feel like I said, while I can't speak for everyone and their mental health journey, I feel like as far as that argument goes, like, I feel like the mental health representation was more unique than any other book that I've read yet. To date, in that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see.
Yeah, and it's sad. I think some people believe, I'm not saying everybody that doesn't like this book, everybody's entitled to their own thoughts, and I'm not saying everybody feels this way, but like there are some people out there in the world, so if this isn't you, don't worry about it, that think that once you've done the damage, once you've gone through this, that you don't deserve the redemption arc. You don't deserve that. And to that, I say that's sad. I think anybody that is willing to come out of it and finally start working on themselves deserves that and deserves grace and forgiveness. Obviously, there's different things that we're just talking about Nesta's story right now, is that, deserves a second chance, you know?
And just deserves to have someone, I think another big part of that is deserves to have someone, whether, like Cassian, whether it be, it doesn't have to be in, a heterosexual relationship situation. It could be anybody. Someone in your life that tells you that like you're still worth something. You're still worthy of love. You deserve to not treat yourself like a piece of trash. You know what I mean? And I think that's how Nesta viewed herself and how she was treating herself and talking to herself internally. And it helped pull her out of that Cassian was like, no, that's not who you are. Like, you don't need to treat yourself this way. You don't need to be this person forever. Like, you can be something else. You can be someone different if you want to be too. And you're worth it. You're worthy of that. And I think that that's another thing I appreciated about this book so much too, was this ability for Cassian and Nesta to essentially have that type of relationship without, in my opinion, becoming like unhealthily codependent or clingy to each other.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's another thing that can happen, is like a trauma bond, Yeah.
For sure.
So what was your favorite part of this book?
My favorite part, other than all the scavenger hunting, was the Nesta, like, in the library. Because we saw a lot of growth, because she was forced to be in the library, was it every week, like every whatever day, to help just put away books. And she started to get to know the acolytes. And that's where she met, not Emery, with Gwen. She met Gwyneth there, got to know. So then her interests start going. They picked a really good, like, activity for her to get her out of her head. And so we saw a lot of growth there. And I just love Sarah J. Maas does such a good job world building that you don't realize that you're in it. I'm in the library with her. Like Brax's little lair was downstairs. Like you're in it. So I loved that. Favorite part, hands down. What about you?
I mean, I had a lot of favorite parts. I feel like, I literally have ataraxia tattooed on my leg. Like, I loved her forging that weapon and naming it. Obviously, that was one of my favorite parts. I loved her going into the lake and coming out as Lady Death. That was a great scene. Like, as far as just like reading it a second time and like just like talk about a scene where you feel like you're there and you can see everything, like it's literally a movie, like that to me was that scene where I was like, whoa, that was crazy. Like her just down under the water fighting with that Selkie or whatever it was called, like the gross little monster guy. And then raising the dead, like the army of the dead. Like, how cool is that? It's so cool. But cool. I will say my ultimate favorite part, if I had to choose one, was when she hiked out to the lake with Cassian. And she just finally like had her moment. And it's like, I don't remember what the exact quote is, but it was something like, about how Cassian expected her to like unleash her wrath on him at any given moment in time. He didn't expect that she would just have a complete like breakdown. Like, that's not what he expected to happen. And to me, that was really meaningful that he was like, I'm just going to hike out here with you and we're going to walk and we're going to camp and you can be quiet as long as you need to be quiet. I'll be right here the whole time until you can process like what you need to process. I was like, what a, not just like what a guy, but like what a friend, like what a person, for her to be able to have in her life. And so that was my favorite part. What was your least favorite part?
It just goes back to Rhys not telling Feyre her risks. of childbirth with the wings.
Yeah.
So all circles back to that. Rhys was weird in this book. Everybody can agree on that.
Yeah, he was well, and I think
being a little weirdo.
Well, because it was told from Nesta's perspective, and she and
yes, true.
Rhys are not friends.
Something we need to think about too. Yeah, we get a different take on these characters because what do they say? What's the saying? It's like the version of yourself. Everybody has a different version of you from their perspective.
Yeah,
it doesn't. It's like it doesn't completely match up, but it's like who you think you are is going to be different than anybody else that you ever meet thinks you are. So don't take it hard on yourself if somebody doesn't like you or whatever. Like, it's different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's very interesting. That's done very well because, we feel kind of like weird about Rhys, but it's because it's told from different perspectives. Also, he's going through a lot of stress. Him and his wife and child are about to die.
Yeah, he's going through a lot. He's acting
That'll
crazy.
do something to somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's through Nesta's eyes. It's like the whole first 4 books are basically told through rose-colored glasses towards Rhys because it's through Farrah's perspective of him, Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. So I think that's also important. My least favorite part is the same thing. Cassian's fake out death. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Stop doing it.
Yeah, it's almost like at that point, they've made it through the blood right. Nesta is the only one. She's like, go on without me. I'm going to hold the gate, basically, right? Like, this is what I'm doing. And it's like, if anyone was going to die in that scene, I feel like it needed to be one of them 3. Like, it needed to be like Gwyn, Emery, or Nesta, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And they bring in Cassian, and he's going to be the one who might die in the final hour. It's like, we've already had our moment with her throwing her body over him in freaking book 3 and traumatizing all of us thinking he was really going to die. Like, we don't need it again in this book. So that, to me, was like my one critique pretty much of this book was the fake out Cassian death scene. I'm like, we did not need that. No. Absolutely not. Yeah. So let's see here. What else do we have? So least favorite and most favorite character.
Favorite character. I really loved Emery. I did. Mm-hmm. We don't get very deep with it, but I did love her. So her and Nesta, I'm going to have to go, obviously. Yeah. Because Nesta, I did not like at the beginning. And so she changed my mind. Mm-hmm. Got to see her plight. Least favorite character, all the a-hole, all the Illyrian. I'm even wearing a shirt right there. Illyrian, all the Illyrian a-holes.
Yeah.
So didn't like them one bit, but we're not supposed to, so it's okay.
Emery's family, what's his name? What's his name? That's going to drive me crazy. It starts with a B. Hold on, let me see if I wrote it down somewhere. Belias? Yeah, I think so. Whatever her gross, he was like cousin or something like that, right? He was terrible. Yeah. He's the one who attacks them at the end and was like, he was terrible. Yeah. Trash family.
Trash. Into the trash.
The trash. So
is that your least?
Yeah, of course.
And then obviously your favorite
is Nesta, for sure.
Nesta.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. I love Cassian, don't get me wrong, he's great, but he's just not my favorite. It's not to me, this book wasn't about him. It was about Nesta,
Yeah, for sure.
So, did you have any quotes that stood out to you, or do you just want me to read off my 10,000 quotes that I have?
I do have a quote.
Okay.
I do have a quote.
Which one?
And I'm sure it's on your list. It's very popular, so it stood out to me.
Okay.
I am the rock against which the wave crashes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I had that one too. Yeah, I'm the rock against which the surf crashes. Nothing can break me. Yeah, I feel like, we've all heard that a million times if you're in this space because it's so important to the plot. So one of the quotes that I wrote down, just to kind of talk about the whole mental health representation, how I think that it actually did a good job of that, was where she says, I am worthless and I am nothing, Nesta nearly said. She wasn't sure why the words bubbled up, pressing on her lips to voice them. I hate everything that I am, and I am so, so tired. I am tired of wanting to be anywhere but in my own head. It's like, to me, that's one of the most relatable quotes. It's just this bone deep weariness of just wanting to feel anything but what you feel. And I was like, I mean, to me, that's excellent writing when you can see yourself in a character like that. So I definitely wrote that one down. And then I love these 2 quotes that actually did have to do with Cassian. I love the death watched him, but but death had walked beside him every day of his life. So Cassian stroked his thumb along her palm and said, "Hello, Ness." And I'm like, I just love the whole, like, death had walked beside him every day of his life. So he's like, try me. There's nothing you can do that's going to scare me off. Because I'm literally, 500 years old, and I've almost died 10 billion times, and I've fought in a million wars, and this isn't even going to cause me to blink an eye. Like, whatever you got. Yeah. I loved that. And then the other one with Cassian. Cassian stepped over Bellius's, I don't know how you say that guy's name. Cassian stepped over Bellius's dying body and offered her a hand. Not to sweep her into his arms, but to help her rise, as he had always done.
Aww.
And I'm like, what a cool, like, what a great quote, because it just shows you that it's like, Nesta can hold her own. She's literally Lady Death. She is so powerful. She can wield all the items in the Death Trove. We don't even know, or the Dread Trove, we don't even know what that means yet. Yeah. Like, ending on book 5. Yeah. Like, this could take us into so many different places. And so, truly. I love that too. And then, sorry, I have to share one more. Because I have to end it on a good positive note. So Amren put a hand above Nesta's heart. That's the key, isn't it? To know the darkness will always remain, but how you choose to face it, handle it, that's the important part. To not let it consume. To focus upon the good, the things that fill you with wonder. She gestured to the stars zooming past. The struggle with that darkness is worth it just to see such things. And I'm like, good old Amren.
Yeah.
So wise.
So wise. Beautiful.
So those are my favorite quotes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we just have a couple more things to kind of like wrap it up. How do you feel like the spice was in this book?
It's good.
Like spice level.
I don't
even know. Did we talk? Yeah, we did. Three spices.
We did. Yeah, we did. Yeah. It was good. What about you?
I loved that there was more spice in this book. I thought that it was really important to the plot, too. I feel like a lot of people didn't like how much there was. They were kind of a little bit offended by that, I think. And some of the reviews I was reading, like, what is this? And I was kind of like, to me, it was also very relatable. Like, I'm not going to let you too close to me. All this is a physical thing. Because I can't allow myself. She talks a lot about how Cassian is too good for her. He's too good. He's too kind. He's too fair. He's all these things that I am not. And therefore, I do not deserve him. And so I'm going to keep him at an arm's length. And that's why I think a big part of it, until they actually like click and, you know, kind of admit their feelings for each other, a big part of it is like, we're just going to keep it physical on purpose. Yeah. So I was happy with the spice level. I thought it was great. Unanswered questions. Looking forward to sequels.
Oh, I have a thing for you. This has been a hot topic. Okay. Well, not really, but like I've seen it come up a couple times.
Okay.
Do you think Cassian and Nesta are, what is the word? I just forgot it.
Endgame mates.
Mates.
Oh, because he like, there's like some conspiracy, right? They're not mates because he never actually says he loves her or something like that. I can't remember.
No, it's like something about the way things went for them is different than is described. Like they might be Caramine.
Oh.
And not mates. So that's why they have a pool together. So there's something about the way things are described that are different than like, say, Rhys and Feyre.
Interesting.
Because Rhys knew when the moment she was born.
Yeah. Interesting.
That his mate was out there. So I think I
don't remember what that word is. I know which word you're saying. But
Cardamine. Basically, he's somebody who could help her power.
Yeah.
Or like power up.
But it would be also like a lifelong bond.
Yeah, it's still a bond in a way, but different than a mate.
But there's a little bit different choice, I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't care either way because
you just read it, so do you remember that part? Did it sound like a mate description?
Yeah, nothing sounded suspicious to me.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just like people trying to make up stuff.
Read into it.
Yeah.
Like our conspiracy brains.
Yeah.
Like when any of the books come out. Like,
I think they're probably mates. If they're not, then if they do have that other type of bond, I mean, my other favorite couple one of my other favorite couples in the Sarah J. Maas universe has that bond, and I love that for them. So
yeah.
I'm not going to be mad about it either way. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I would say that's probably just like a conspiracy.
A reach.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a reach, but like, who knows? We don't know.
Yeah.
crazier things have happened, you know?
True.
So obviously we're both like waiting for the next ACOTAR book, of course. We've read all the rest of the universe. We're just waiting. Yeah, so we need the sequel. I feel like there's a lot of it. There's so many unanswered questions because it's such an intricate world that she's built at this point in time. And not all the questions come from A Court of Silver Flames. I mean, so, hey, I don't know. So, sometimes it's frustrating. Sometimes
I have
it's
a
not.
huge unanswered question.
Okay.
Moore was sitting in the field at some point. I don't remember if it was this
Who
book.
did she see?
Who did she see? Who was watching her? And why was she just like, okay, time to go. She knows who she saw. Who? Like, what is Moore's story really?
Yeah.
So yes, we have about 1 billion unanswered questions.
Yeah.
I think it's deliberate. I hope it's deliberate. Because there's a different series that Sarah's doing that made us very frustrated with it because we have so many conspiracy theories and none of those came to fruition. So is it just us hoping that these questions get answered? We won't know until the series is closed. But Throne of Glass is technically closed and everything was answered.
Yeah.
We just miss them so much and we just want to see them again.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, but I do feel like, you know, once you get to this level where you've read all of the Massiverse, there's so many connections that you can come up with between all of the different ones that all it does is just create more and more questions. So I'm really hoping that, Miss Maas has some really crazy future books planned for us.
Yeah,
it's like,
that it's all on purpose.
Yeah, that it's all on purpose. Well, because it's like Crescent City's supposed to have one more book, right? We don't know how many books ACOTAR is supposed to have, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess time will tell.
Throne of Glass is like 8, right?
Yeah.
So we're only at 5 right now for ACOTAR with 6.
It just keeps going forever.
26. I don't mind. Keep
I don't either.
Brandon Sanderson's sister keeps it going. You know? So, hey.
Yep.
We love it. We will do a conspiracy theory episode at some point. It's definitely on our book. So do not fret. Do not worry. And that will be all spoilers all the time of that episode.
Okay, so as far as reviews go, you know, we're just going to share, because we've already talked about kind of like the reasons why this book is really polarizing. You either love Nesta or you hate Nesta. It's her story, so you're either going to love it or hate it. I feel like not that many people are in the middle on this. Yeah. I did Goodreads. I just pulled Goodreads up. I mean, there are like almost 1.6 million ratings of this book. You know, but it gets a 4.46 average.
Still pretty good. Dang, that's still one of the highest.
Good. Yeah.
And that's a lot. People felt something to want to write it, you know, want to review it.
So when I'm looking at like super low reviews, I always try to look at something that's pretty funny, you know, because like we know why people don't like it. I feel like the main reasons when I was sifting through this was poor mental health representation, you know, all the reasons why people always critique Sarah J. Maas for lack of representation, diversity in her storytelling. These are all things that you can, you know, definitely debate. I don't know that it would be specific to this book, though. It might just be to her writing in general. But I like to find something that's just kind of hilarious. So 1 star from Old Granny Simba on Goodreads. What's worse? Writing fairy smut and dedicating it to your husband, dog, and 2-year-old toddler, or the fact I'll probably read number 5, LMAO. I love that so much. You know, definitely, like, you can consider this to be, like, fairy smut, I guess, if you wanted to minimize it to that, but I think it would be doing the story a disservice, in my opinion. But I did think it was hilarious, because this person is like, but I'm also going to read the next one, so... Yeah. So this is Trisha, 5 stars on Goodreads. Maas does this super unique and awesome thing where she blends mental health and romance into a story that makes you want to cry and scream for joy all at once. I love this book and Nesta's journey. So I feel like that was a really good, concise 5-star review about my feelings on the book. But yeah, just also I feel like how probably a lot of people who felt seen by this story felt after reading it as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like the 5 stars were all really similar too. Like it all boils down to can you either see and try to understand Nesta's perspective? Were you a Nesta, or are you someone who doesn't believe that people should get a redemption arc after doing so much damage, or who possibly just didn't really understand her character that well, or just didn't like her in general. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I have as far as reviews go. Do you want to wrap this up with a smash or pass?
Let's do it. Smash or pass time.
Okay. So listen, I'm just going to go first because I have to know. I'm dying to know because it just kills me. It kills me that so many people love him and he just icks me out to no end. So I must know what you think and then we must know what the people think, okay?
Okay.
Andrew Garfield. Everyone's talking about him right now because of this look.
Was that Spider-Man guy?
This is the look that he was just giving.
It's not giving to me.
It's not giving. It's
Is he the one that does Spider-Man or something?
Yes, he was
Spider-Man's
the worst.
friend.
He was the worst Spider-Man.
He's a little boy. Pass.
He's gross.
He'll
right?
always look like a little boy. He gives off that just like boring little boy energy, like a boring kid. I don't know. No, pass.
No, pass. Thank you.
He seems like a dud.
He's a dud. I know. People are going to be mad about this because people love him. My sister loves him. People love him. In my opinion, he was the worst Spider-Man and he icks me out. And it's like the pictures that are floating around right now from, I don't know, whatever the award show that just happened was. Gross. I don't like it.
He seems like a Disney Channel kid.
Yeah. But like
that's
not
the best way I can describe it. No, hey, here's Mickey Mouse. Like, you know.
To like Magoo. He's Magoo.
Yeah.
And like seeing him with like a beard and sunglasses and like a chain and like an unbuttoned shirt literally makes me want to gag in my mouth.
Yeah, it's like calm down.
Calm down.
Stop trying so hard because it's not working either.
You're literally okay.
Sorry, guys. Okay. My smash or pass for you is the Terminator. But he'd have to be like as a robot. It's not just Arnold Schwarzenegger, not just the villain. As a robot, smash. Huh? Oh, wow. Okay. Pass for me.
There's a thing about the fear. I've always been a little afraid of him because he's scary.
Yeah, it's terrifying, especially the villain, especially when his eye blown out. Yeah,
it's intriguing.
Pass. Smash. You're like the way you're describing it. Butter to my ears. Love it.
Butter
Eat it
to
up.
my ears.
I don't know. We've been filming for like 3 hours, guys. I don't know anymore.
I love that for me.
So,
you know,
yeah, I love that for you.
I love that we'll post it too, and then I'll know all of you who also would smash the Terminator. And
what about the Terminator? Just the villain when he's whatever. He's himself. He's a human, but he's a robot underneath.
No, the human. No, I'm not interested.
The human guy is no.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that. Robot only or nothing.
Yeah. Okay, that's weird. All right, good for you.
Isn't that?
Okay, you learn something new every day.
Thank you so much for being here and for listening to our Court of Silver Flames journey. I love this book. Go read it. That's my 2 cents.
Yep. And make sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you like to listen to your favorite podcast at Bessie's in the Books podcast. That's where we are. Go check us out on Instagram, TikTok there as well.
Yes.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.